Want to get your hands on some sports cards?
Hell yes!
You're in the right place.
Good morning. Is everybody ready?
Welcome to the weekly Target Watch on Schultz's Card Pull.
What's going on, sports fans? Wednesday, January 5th, 3:55, clicking over to 3:56 just as I come on this morning. Pacific time, 4 minutes away from the hot zone. How is everybody doing this morning? Good morning, everybody. What's going on? Very early on. Hope you're as good as you can be up this early. I know a lot of people wait for sports cards. Some people think there's going to be a console drop this week. So, hey, we'll be here trying to talk y'all through it. Hopefully, it is sports cards. But you know what? If it's consoles, hey, I do have the links down below in the description so we could score those together as well. But I am here trying to talk y'all through a hopeful possible sports card restock on Target.com. Welcome. Good morning, everybody, to the weekly Target Watch. How y'all doing? Wednesday, hump day. Got the college football playoff coming up next Monday. The championship finally being played. Rematch between Alabama and Georgia. Very interesting also because Dan Lanning, the defensive coordinator, calling the defensive plays for Georgia, will be Oregon's head coach. I mean, he's already been announced as Oregon head coach, but will be their head coach literally the next day onto his full-time job. So good life for him for sure for the next week or so. He's going to be experiencing all of the highs of college football. But obviously that's beside the point. Lots to talk about today, guys. If you have any questions about grabbing some sports cards off of Target.com or how to do so or how to get ready for that, please lay them on me. Try to go over stuff as much as I can in as much detail as I can. We can talk about what's going on in the hobby with Fanatics buying tops. Continuing that conversation into today. There really haven't been many details, unfortunately, presented in the last 24 hours about that Topps Fanatics deal, other than it's worth about $500 million, that Fanatics is going to be in the game starting now. Basically, they own all the printing presses and everything Topps does. So Fanatics starting January 4th, basically in the sports card game in 2022 instead of 2025. The Collector, what's going on? Hey, buddy, how are you? I'm okay. Thank you much. I am okay. A-okay. Who that dog at you says, morning, Schultz. Thanks, Dan D. So smash that like button. Helps me feed two kitties named Pikachu and Eevee, guys. Cursed Gamer says, console flipping looks dead to me. Disc versions aren't worth selling on eBay now. So it looks like finally the consoles, because there have been enough released, the shortage looks like it's starting to shrink just a little bit. Availability actually increasing because they're finally able to get some of these out a year and a half after release of the PS5 discs and digital. So pretty crazy to hear that some of those resale values are finally starting to level off. Pretty crazy there. Brad Selden Esquire says, good AM, JS. What's going on, man? Gently requested the like, or caress the like button as requested. I appreciate that, you guys. A couple minutes away from the hot zone here on Schultz's card polls. Not seeing any activity on the back end as of yet, but you know what? Usually starts in about 10 to 15 minutes from now if we are going to see anything. Hopefully it's sports cards. Hopefully it's not consoles this week, but you know what? I guess if it is consoles, then we know that cards aren't coming this week, and we'll have to get on up again starting next Tuesday and start this all over again, hoping for cards from Target.com. However, and I'm going to be talking about this every morning, you guys, that I'm on doing these Target live streams, it really does seem that other stores and their options online are starting to get a bit more flush. So I know that you got to be aware, and unfortunately, you know, some of the advantages of Discord monitors really come into play here, because obviously, you know, I'm here talking you through a Target.com drop, but you know, I can't come on live like when all of a sudden Best Buy drops cards randomly during the day. But that's been pretty few and far between as far as people that have been able to score on Best Buy. Those have been like local pickup items, and we are officially in the hot zone, you guys. 4 a.m. Pacific time in the hot zone here on Schultz's Card Polls. King of Cards says, good morning, Schultz. Already dropped my like. I appreciate it, you guys. Scott Tolliver says, boo, consoles. Chosen One C says, consoles are pretty much confirmed this week, unfortunately. The Collector says, I just got in Card Snipers, just not sure which Target monitor I should be looking at. Is it the one under monitor or the one under retail monitor? Usually the one under, hold on just a second. Gotta get a window out of the way. I usually stick to the one under monitor. I think the retail monitors are just another set that they're using. So I have seen both pop up, both the different items, including sports cards. So both categories, but most of the time they're appearing on the monitor version. But yeah, guys, check out Card Snipers, kind of answering a little bit of a inside baseball question there really quick. Taylor Family saying, you don't want illusions. Tim asking, what am I hoping for in a potential Target drop? Well, I would love to see some Mosaic dropping on Target, specifically because it would be a lot cheaper coming off Target.com than it is off of Walmart.com or at a Walmart store. I just bought a bunch of cellos last week when Walmart.com stocked Mosaic cellos online, and those were $16.98. I mean, so you're talking $17-18, depending on what state you're in for taxes. Thankfully, I'm in Oregon, so I have no state taxes. But when you're talking almost double of what, like, say, a pharmacy or $2 or $3 more than Target's charging per cello, then that cost and that extra money starts to add up. And I saw that the blasters of Mosaic Basketball on Walmart.com are going for like $36, and the hangers going for like $23, as opposed to Target.com, usually a few bucks cheaper than Walmart. Those blasters going for about $30, those hangers going for about $15, and those cellos going for about $10 to $15. So that is the main reason that I am hoping that Mosaic drops on Target, and one of the main reasons that I am waiting for Mosaic to drop on Target.com. Taylor Family, oh yeah, I forgot about Meyer. How could I forget about the expensive price gouging Meyer? Cellos there right now. Mosaic Cellos coming in at $19.99. That is just stupid. Curse Gamer says random during the afternoon talking about Walmart restocks. Or it could be Best Buy, actually. I apologize. But both of them are pretty much random online restocks. I do know that Walmart's... Keep your eye out, you guys, and I will try to let people know in the Discord today, but usually Walmart's are Wednesdays or Thursdays at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern. So usually dropping a ton of cards in the middle of the week on Walmart.com. So, if we're not seeing these scores from Target.com, you can look, and I'm trying to offer the info as best I can to help everybody else score sports cards out there and find something to rip for every single person. But just keep your eye out. That's the best that I can tell you as far as extra info on where to get these cards right now. Mosaic Basketball available in a lot of places. However, the prices, as we're talking about, are different. And Meyer especially price gouging the hell out of those items. So just if you're keen on paying a certain price, wait for Mosaic to be stocked on Target.com. The resale values aren't terribly high. I'm sure that the monitors and the bots are going to be going strong when Mosaic is stocked. However, this first wave of Mosaic from Target.com, there's going to be a lot of it. So I think it's going to be the time for everybody to go for it. Joe says cello packs are literally for children. Nah, Joe, you're so wrong, man. The cello packs actually, for instance, for Donruss Optic Basketball, they actually contain some of the best chance for parallels as opposed to like blasters or megas. And I haven't really seen hangers outside of like the couple of weird looking hanger boxes of Donruss Optic that don't actually look like hangers. But anyways, the cello pack odds for pulling rookie autos and parallels are a lot higher than like blaster boxes. And in mega boxes, you can't pull colored parallels at all. So I would vehemently disagree with you, Joe, that cello packs are for children. They are literally not for children. I would say that the cereal box releases that Panini has done and included in like the Panini membership box or whatever they do, those are legitimately for kids, or literally for kids, what you're saying. 856 Rips says, thanks for the info, man. I banged that like button. I appreciate you guys. Bang it, smash it, caress it, hit it, hit the notification bell so you're notified of all my latest videos. I will later this morning, later on, I will have a new sports card hunting video dropped, ready to go. It's already uploaded to YouTube, and that'll be dropping here later in the morning. So look out for that. Come on back and watch that. 856 has just bought Chronicles from Target. Surprised they haven't sold out yet. You guys, I know that Chronicles Basketball isn't something, especially because it's probably being printed a lot more than maybe Chronicles Football was last year already. The print runs have obviously increased from Panini, but you guys, Chronicles Basketball has always been, I've been back in the hobby for about 2 years now, and every single one of those releases from Chronicles have been fire. And looking back into the history before that, Chronicles, a newer product, but pretty cool because it's a cheaper chance for you to pull a premium auto. Now, the odds, are they in your favor? Not necessarily in every box, but it is a fun rip. You can pull some fun parallels, and it is a good chance. Not a great chance, but a good chance to pull a nice rookie auto or some crazy parallel. So Chronicles Basketball, you guys, don't sleep on that. I really like Chronicles, and I would implore you to buy some of that before it sells out on Target.com. Michael Ortiz says, I've seen Genesis come out more from cello packs. Heck yeah, guys. Everybody looking for that Genesis case hit from Mosaic. Man, I pulled a Genesis one time. It was out of Mosaic Football, but it was like a linebacker that nobody was really high on. So just because you pull those case hits and those one-of-ones and you get a super short print, you've won half the battle when you pull those cards, but then you've also got to pull somebody that people are after. It doesn't have to be like for instance, for basketball this year, it doesn't have to be like a LaMelo Ball. If you pulled like a Avdija Genesis or a Halliburton Genesis, obviously that's going to catch a few bucks as well. But when you're pulling like a Chris Paul Genesis, or when you're pulling like a Yusuf Nurkic Genesis, which, hey, I'm a huge Portland Trailblazers fan, but I'll be honest, guys, I understand that there aren't that many people pining for a Yusuf Nurkic Genesis card, but they're out there. They're out there, and somebody's going to pull it, and they're not going to be happy when they pull it because they realize it's a Genesis, but then it's a player that nobody's really after, and then it's just like, yes, you got to be kidding me. Caleb Briggs, what's going on, man? Says good morning, Schultz. G Gladdy, or Gladdy, excuse me, sorry, just struggling reading your name this morning in the chat. Says sports card demand dropped. Well, I don't think necessarily the sports card demand dropped as much as the printing has increased up to the max. I mean, we're talking, guys, and I think you now see the writing really on the wall with Topps being bought by Fanatics. Topps going to be in the game going forward past 2025. And nothing on the back end yet, guys. Nothing in the hot zone right now on Target.com. I will stop talking and let you know as soon as something loads on the back end, whether it be sports cards or consoles. I'll let you know as soon as I see something. So I promise I'll just drop what I'm talking about and let y'all know what's going on. Trying to catch up with the chat as well as get my points across this morning, you guys. Brian talking about Flux Blasters. Mike Vrabel's Zebra Print. Thanks, Panini. Yeah, Mike Vrabel's Zebra Print, not necessarily someone that people are pining after. Even though he's a great defensive player, he is a head coach right now for the Titans in the NFL. And so obviously people are trying to pull those huge Zebra hits and those Genesis hits. But yeah, like I said, sometimes you just get the wrong players like Mike Vrabel and whatnot. So very frustrating there. But yeah, guys, once again, I don't think the demand is dropping. I just think with Panini getting out of the game, it seems to be official now. I don't think, I mean, this is just my prediction, but I would not think that Fanatics has to pay another dime to any other companies to get sports card rights. They've already spent $1.5 billion getting into the game. And at this point, why give money to Panini when they have the Topps properties, when you could bring back that nostalgia with like Topps Chrome Basketball, Topps Chrome Football? And really what that would do would be eliminate, a product that we've seen in the past, literally 13 to 14 years, but no more than that, go away from the market in like Prism and Optic and that kind of thing, because the basketball contract for Topps ended, I think, in 2008, 2009. That's when Panini started. So you're looking at their releases and their new age and their new brand cards that started only 13 years ago. I think that the nostalgia and the people in the hobby that have been around the longest really don't care if those go away. That's just my prediction. So I don't think that Fanatics is going to have to spend any more money buying Panini. I just don't think they want to at this point. Looking at the two companies, if I had to choose which one I wanted to acquire, it would be Topps every day of the week because they've been in the game so much longer. But my point in bringing that up is that Panini has been overprinting. As soon as the news came out that Fanatics bought the player rights for all the three major sports players associations in North America. And since then, it's been pretty obvious that they've been overprinting. And it also, I mean, their printers are like 6 months to a year behind sometimes, especially, with the pandemic stuff got pushed back. So it's not like they can just, immediately call the printer and say double or triple the printing run in like a month. They have to plan this. So even before the whispers of like a deal with MLB, NBA, and NFL was going down with Fanatics, it seems to me that Panini was drastically increasing their print runs, and now they're just kind of going forward with that, continuing to increase those print runs more, saying, F it, we're not going to be in the business in 3-4 years, so we're probably just going to try and grab our money and run. Let's get that bag and let's get out. Siski Whiskey says Panini will still do soccer cards. Yeah, but Topps also has some soccer properties as well. They've got F1. I know that, Panini has like some USC stuff, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe Topps also has some kind of fighting cards as well. So I just, with Fanatics taking all that over, you guys, whatever Panini does have, and, if they're just trying to limp around with like soccer cards around the market, I guarantee you, with what the properties that Topps already owns and now have been bought by Fanatics, what they have at their disposal is just going to be so much better and going to be so much more widely distributed than Panini ever could do. Brad Selden says buying Panini bankrupted Marvel Comics in the 90s. Well, I don't think that even if Fanatics wanted to buy Panini, I don't think it would be a bankrupting decision. They're worth what, like $10+ billion, their last valuation. Sorry, maybe like 18 billion when they were getting funding. I'm trying to remember what I saw in the article this summer when they were getting their valuation done at about $18 billion and then raising some more investments from the likes of Jay-Z and whatnot. Fanatics has been in the sports game trying to, I don't know if it's create a monopoly, but use the access that they already have to the sport to leverage increasing their position overall in the sports world. Paul Toronto says Topps basketball and football cards coming back, hopefully. See, there you go, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Paul bringing up a great point, and I think something that a lot of other people in the hobby would like to see with this Fanatics Topps purchase is Topps Chrome baseball, Topps Chrome football, the classics coming back. Topps's logos, Topps's properties with those football players, because you go back, guys, into the 20,000s and 2010s and look at some of those rookie cards. How good, do those Topps Chrome football cards look up to 2015? I think that some of those rookie cards are better looking than the Panini ones coming out today. I'm sorry, hot take, but classic Chrome back in the 2010s up until their deal ended with football in 2015 seems to be better. Maybe not necessarily on the relic side. I know Panini's done well, like with their shields, but they've kind of increased the print run too much on like 101s and whatnot. But they've increased like different hit odds for relics and whatnot. The player worn controversy, game worn controversy, that's a whole nother conversation. But that is something that Panini really revolutionized. But like I said, I just like those classic card looks from Topps, and I think that a lot of other people in the hobby, whether new or old, are going to see that going forward and be super happy with what we get. Yeah, Brian saying hopefully Topps basketball will be brought back by Fanatics. Dunk cards, says Schultz. I wish someone made boxing cards. I want a Gervonta Tank Davis auto card. Probably be hard because there's no Fighters Association for boxing. Yeah, what you got to do at that point, if there's no association, you just got to go and individually, get the rights to their likeness and their auto and pay them that way. But obviously it's a lot more expensive when you're doing it player by player or athlete by athlete as opposed to in a group. So that's why you don't necessarily see sports without like a players association or association representing all the athletes. That is why you don't see them on sports cards very often. Sean Sports Cards says Fanatics needs to buy Upper Deck so we can get MJ and LeBron autos and Tiger. Not a bad idea. Sean Sports Cards bringing up a valid point, although Upper Deck, that is the one way that they have been able to remain in the game. So I wouldn't really see them giving up that exclusivity. Just me. Like if that's if you've got one way to stay in, the sports card release game, and you've got the autograph rights to 3 very popular people or 2 of the greatest athletes of all time, I don't think you just sell those rights away. I'm not sure Upper Deck would be willing to sell that to Panini, and if I were Upper Deck CEO, I probably wouldn't sell. So I'm not sure that's going to happen. I mean, they'd have to come at you with a stupid amount of money because they already gave LeBron and Michael stupid amounts of money for auto exclusivity, I'm sure. So, I mean, it would be nice in a perfect world, sure, but I just don't see Upper Deck going to Fanatics. I believe that they're probably going to remain on their own because it is in their best interests to do so going forward. Yeah, Upper Deck is family owned, says Ali. Yeah, exactly. I do not think that there's going to be any Upper Deck Fanatics deal. So I know that some people want that to happen. I could see why. I could see a couple positives coming out of that. But, for Upper Deck themselves, I just don't see the benefits. Chad D says, look like PS5s are dropping today. No cards. Well, we have not seen anything as far as consoles on the back end as of yet, guys. It is 4:16 Pacific time, 7:16 East Coast time here on Schultz's Card Pulse. No activity on the back end on Target.com as of yet. Raymond Ray asking about, what about the $10.99 for selling cards online? Do you think that'll scare a lot of the casual buyers and sellers away from the hobby? So Raymond talking about, if you guys have not heard about this, starting January 1 here in 2022, the resale law for reporting taxes online used to be, for eBay specifically, and I think this did apply to like Stockx and any other marketplace online, you didn't have to report anything to the IRS unless it was over $20,000 or 200 transactions. So you could actually do $20,000 and 198 transactions. And as long as it wasn't over that, you still wouldn't really get a bill from the IRS. But now, starting January 1, 4 days ago this year here in 2022, any sales, does not matter what the number of sales is, but any sales totaling over $600 on eBay, on Stockx, on Mercari, on any of these online marketplaces that you got to go on, got to put your social security number in to sell on, they will be sending you a 1099. And what that means is you've got to keep track of every single thing you sell on those platforms and where you bought it from and what you bought it from, because you've got to show that you only profited a certain amount off of those sales. Otherwise, you're going to have to be paying taxes on every single dollar that you sell over $600 starting 4 days ago. So essentially, that's kind of the rough of it. The IRS wants their money. They've seen a lot of people doing resales and kind of skating by for the last 10, 15, 20 years as technology has increased and the internet has gotten us to where it is today. And they see that tax money and they see that they could get a hand on it. So that's what's going on now, guys. So be prepared. That's what the 1099 story is. That's what somebody was talking about. Raymond says, I asked him about the 1099, not you. Well, I'm going to be letting you all know about the 1099 anyways, because I saw it and I think it was a great way to let people know selling online might be changing going forward for them, unfortunately. Siski Whiskey says, is that a surprise? The bot law is next, LOL. People talking about not only the tax law being changed for internet sales, but back in December, there was a proposal put forth in front of Congress, and that was essentially banning retail bots around the United States. We'll see if that actually goes through. Beast in the Beauty Breaks, $5 super chat, dude. Thank you so much, man. That is too kind of you, brother. Waiting here for a sports card restock on Target.com. Haven't seen anything yet, but Beast of the Beauty Breaks, thank you so much, man. Too generous of you. Says, I feel the reason that Fanatics decided to buy Topps is to be able to get the cards on the market ASAP. Thanks for the great stream, bro. Dude, thank you. Beast in the Beauty Breaks, too generous of me, man. Too kind. Going into your wallet. Man, you make my heart tingle every time you guys do that. I really appreciate it. It really does make me feel like I'm doing something right, so thank you. But that is a very good point that he makes. Fanatics wanted to get in on the game now, and buying Topps is a way to do that. But I honestly thought that was their plan the whole time. It was essentially what they did with Majestic back in the mid-2010s. I've compared it to this many times, but if you haven't heard, when Fanatics kind of slipped in and got the contract for MLB apparel away from Fanatics, what they did was they negotiated that deal with Major League Baseball first, and Fanatics got that done with Major League Baseball. Then 6 months later, turned around and bought Majestic, who had that apparel deal before. And that is exactly what we saw just happen with Topps. We saw about 6 months ago, Fanatics getting into the sports card game in general, getting those 3-player league rights and all the autograph and Players Association rights and the rights to print cards away from Topps and Panini. So what do? They basically forced Topps or Panini or both to come to the table, and that's exactly what happened. Topps came to the table, and they did a deal, because if you can't beat them, join them. Drew Schumann asking a great question. Fernando, are you finding anything in your Target? Asking about sports cards. I know that we've seen some Pokemon. I know that we've seen some mid-tier releases in our local Targets, but nothing really premium, you guys, unfortunately. No Optic Basketball. Nobody's really seen, unless, of course, it's like an in-store return. People have been saying like, oh, hey, I saw Optic Basketball in my store. That means premium cards are coming back. No. What that means is somebody bought Optic Basketball online, and then for some reason they're like, you know what? I don't want this. I can't believe they did that, but that's what they said to themselves. And they're like, okay, screw it. I'm going to go take it back to the store and get my money back. And instead of sending it back to the warehouse or to the factory or whatever, Target just puts it out on the shelves. And that is why you see the premium cards at your shelves at your local Targets. Sean Sports Card says, use PayPal F&F and you won't get taxed. I mean, that's a good way to avoid it, Sean, but they are starting to crack down on ways to avoid that as well. So be careful using friends and family, man. I know PayPal is pretty strict on like descriptions, if you're actually buying and selling commerce or goods and whatnot with friends and family. So you just got to be careful, man. There are, of course, ways to skirt the system, but if you try to skirt the system and you get like your account frozen on PayPal or PayPal does something that doesn't allow you to do deals on there anymore, I'm just warning you guys, there are protections in place that they do try to keep people, from using these services in a way that they don't want them to, which that is a way, selling goods and services through friends and family is specifically against PayPal's policy. So I'm just warning y'all. Drew Shoeman says, LOL, right. Yo, bro, it's always no sleep game. Yeah, talking about scoring sports cards locally, you guys, you really do have to be on top of it. And not only do you have to have free time, but you also have to be tapped into like a network of people that know either when sports card restocks are happening at your local stores or just happen to hunt like you and then text you, when they see something and then you do the same for them. That's kind of what a few guys and I do locally. If we see something, we just let each other know. And it's just a common courtesy and a thank you. And it's a really nice way to take care of each other. And also, beat the flippers. I know that the flipping prices have lowered, but people still out there trying to do that. I know one person, we were talking about it in my Discord. You guys go check it out. I do have a free Discord here available. Link in the description with all the same people here in the live stream that are waiting for sports cards each week on Target.com, hanging out just all week, talking about hits, talking about where they see cards and what cards they see at specific stores. But actually, one of our mods and one of the OGs of the channel, Auto Gods, locally, he lives close to me here in Oregon, and he was talking about locally near us how there's one dude that goes, and if there have been Pokemon UPCs, the Ultra Premium Collection boxes that contain the Gold Charizard and Pikachu special. I mean, the PSA 10 Gold Charizards are selling for thousands of dollars right now. And raw, I mean, I think they're only selling for like $150, $200, but if you get a good one, that's where they're cashing in. And that's why people want those UPCs and people are after them so much. But there has been one dude that has just been an absolute jerk about it locally, apparently. I haven't seen him, but I think he's the reason that none of us can really find the Pokemon UPCs in stores. And now Target stopped selling UPCs in stores because of fights breaking out and stuff like that. And because of people like that ruining our chances of getting stuff in stores like that, we just are not going to see any of the premium stuff in stores, guys, unless there is like a way that they can put it behind the cigarette or customer service counter like they do at Walmart right now or like they do at Meijer, and they limit it to like 1 or 2 items per person. There's just no way that we're going to see premium items going into the shelves again at our local stores. I apologize, guys. It's just not going to happen. 718S asking if there is a drop. Haven't seen anything yet, unfortunately, on the back end of Target.com. Their restocks, guys. Looking at the monitors on Card Snipers, not seeing any activity as far as consoles, as far as sports cards, so I apologize. I know that people are really, really hoping to see something, but we have not seen anything as of yet for either item. Sucks for sure, you guys. Tabletop Geek says, Schultz, if you get over $600 in super chats, you're going to have to pay taxes on that as well, my man. Well, actually, guys, the way that all your YouTube stuff works, it's taxed at the state and federal level, just like any other business would be. But the threshold isn't $600. It's actually pretty much any money that you make on YouTube is taxed. So that's pretty funny. $600 isn't really a threshold for like making ad money. That's for retail sales or for resales online. Rip it up. Ha. All right, I'm not, Schultz, you're talking about Alan. He's the local dude buying up everything. He is an a-hole, by the way. I mean, I've never met him, but I'd totally tell him to his face what an a-hole he is. It's just, when you act like that, buying cards up at every single store around you, it just, yes, you have the right to do that, but you're not ethical. You put a bad taste in my mouth as a human, and you are the reason why the hobby initially, when people were starting to get back in, had questions about sustainability because people couldn't find cards. It's not a supply and demand problem with people like that running around. It is a hoarding and price gouging problem. They're sitting in a garage. They're sitting in a basement. Shoot dang, somebody just posted on our Discord last night. Somebody posted a picture of 100 plus cellos for sale. Mosaic Basketball cellos. And the only way that you can score 100 plus cellos like that is either have a bot or live in an area where you've got a couple of stores or all your stores with no limits, and you just either have the connections and get the products right as they're hitting the shelves from the vendor, or you know when they restock and get the products right as they're hitting the shelves from the vendor. And obviously with the no limits, it makes it a lot easier for you to get all of those packs. So frustrating to see, but that will stop the hobby dead. There is a medium that we can all find where everybody's happy, where we can all get sports cards, where breakers can make some money, where individuals can actually grab a box or two to rip. There is a happy medium that we can all find. I promise you guys. People don't think that there is, but I guarantee you there is, and there is a way for the hobby to be sustainable long term. And actually, a great question coming out of this Fanatics top steal about local card shops really coming up. Do you think that local card shops are going away after Fanatics buying Tops, changing the card game going forward? Do you think that that is a possibility? The distribution is going to change. We don't know how yet, but we've heard Tops talking about eliminating the whole store aspect of it. Or excuse me, Fanatics, before they bought Tops, talking about eliminating the whole store aspect of it. So we'll see if they just sell cards right online to the consumer, or online right to the consumer, and cut out the local card shops, or they work with the local card shops. We'll see what happens. Tabletop Geek says, at this rate, I'm glad I only stick to hobby boxes. Yeah, talking about the hits that come out of retail boxes compared to hobby boxes. Usually the chances for parallels, you guys, are eons higher out of hobby boxes. Of course, the prices for hobby boxes are eons higher as well. Okay, guys, wow. The chat the chat is getting a little toxic right now, huh? I didn't mean to bring up the 1099 to get into a political conversation. I brought that up because it is an important thing that all of us sports card collectors need to know about. Otherwise, you're going to be left with a bill coming up here at the end of the year, guys. Just make sure that you track your sales, because that way, once you track what you bought the cards from, or like say you bought boxes to rip the cards from, and then you sold those boxes, those cards for profit from those boxes. However, the total amount that your cards were sold for didn't beat the threshold, like wasn't more than you spent on the boxes all year. You're not really paying any taxes because you didn't profit. So that's why you got to keep track of that stuff, guys. Essentially, you can, if you keep track of it, only pay taxes on your profit. And that's essentially how business works. But I'm not trying to, give you much advice beyond that. Go ask a CPA, or go find more tax information on YouTube that's much more detailed than I could give you here. Sam asking if there's any drops. Nothing as of yet right now, unfortunately, man. Here on Schulte's Card Pulls, we're waiting on Target.com. About 19 minutes left in the hot zone, and I have not seen anything happening as far as a restock yet. I'll keep watching. I got my eye on stuff, you guys. We're here, and I appreciate that. Please smash the like button for me. Working hard. It helps me feed two kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. But we are here waiting, hopefully seeing either a console or a sports card drop. Obviously, we all prefer sports cards, but if it's consoles, you know what? I'll switch gears and try to help people score either way. But there are still cards. If you guys are really just jonesing to rip something, there are still cards available on Target.com right now. We're looking at quite a few items still available, actually. Basketball cards mostly. But after that last drop, there were not only Chronicles left over, but Flux, as well as Illusions, and have been seeing some pretty good hits coming from Illusions, guys. I really don't think you should sleep on Illusions either. I know we're all, once again, in between these premium restocks, but right now, with what's available on Target.com, I really do think that it is some fun ripping. Tim Crop says backloading consoles now. Let's get that confirmed, you guys. But it looks like, if he is correct, sorry, really weird. The target window is not refreshing. Maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe it's my computer, or maybe it's because consoles are loading and all these peeps out here are turning on their bots. I'm not sure. Super weird, guys. But the target tracker going very slow right now on Schultz's card pulls. But let's confirm. Tim Crope says console's backloading now. Let y'all know when I see something popping up on my end for the monitors as well. There we go, guys. Slowly loading. Gosh, that's crazy. My LCS Island Break says has even or higher comps to eBay. Okay, that the way that you typed that kind of screw. Okay, so you're saying that your store has much higher prices than eBay, essentially. They can kick some rocks. Yeah, for the convenience factor. Exactly, Island Breaks. You've heard me bring that up many, many a times, man. I cannot stand local card shops that do this. They jack up the prices of hobby boxes and retail boxes specifically because you can't get them anywhere else. If you want to wait 4 days, you can get them cheaper, but if you want them right then, right at that moment, well, then you're going to pay that price in the local card shop. And I think it's disgusting. I mean, if the prices were like a little, if they were at eBay comps, or like a little bit over, I'd get it. But if we're talking, $20 to $50 to $70 or more higher above eBay comps, it's like, come on, you guys. That's ridiculous. Card shops and dealers hate eBay. Yeah, yet they put all their cards for sale on eBay. It's super weird. They have their cards for sale in the store, and then they'll put them up on eBay as well. All right, guys, asking if anybody else has seen any console activity. Somebody talking about consoles backloading. I have not seen that as of yet. Dang, this Target Target is just going super slow on me this morning. Maybe that does mean consoles are loading. Yeah, the Target tracker, I'm not even seeing sports cards right now. Super weird. It's like coming up with 2 search results, and that's it. See if I can bring up another window here. Well, maybe that means consoles are reloading, guys, are stocking up because, yeah, the website on Target.com is just going super slow for me. Super odd. All right, guys, hold on just a second here. Winston says, the only thing I really dislike about hobby shops is seeing the ridiculous upcharge on retail products that I can get at Target online. Yeah, that is definitely a frustrating thing when you're looking at... Gonna have to redo the Target tracker here, guys. Sorry about that. It is definitely a frustrating thing when you're looking at prices like that, expecting to see something comparable to eBay, but then it's not. I understand that they got to make money. I understand that they're a business. I understand that they have overhead. So people, every time that come at me when I talk about how much higher the prices are at local card shops and how they shouldn't be much higher than eBay, the main response that I always get is, well, do you know how to run a business, man? Yes, you've got overhead, you've got taxes, you've got rent, you've got employee salary, you've got supply costs, you've got yada, 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 yada that you have to buy, that you have to spend money on. I understand that, but that doesn't mean that you should be charging $70 to $100 over, retail price for a retail box. That's just ridiculous. That prey on immediacy is just absolutely insane. Adam717 says there's 3 card shops in my area. 2 of them are pretty much retail, resale only. Yeah, and I think I've said this before on the live stream, you guys. I don't believe that those are true card shops. An LCS is somebody, and this is unfortunate because allocations are so hard to get right now, but a true LCS, and I'll have a video coming out here very soon on a great example of what a true local card shop is a shop that has hobby boxes, maybe some retail boxes as well, but mostly hobby boxes sealed and open for you to grab separate packs from. And one of the best local card shops that I've ever been to happened to be when I went back home with my wife 2 miles away from where she grew up. in Massachusetts, a state called Bay State Sports Cards. I've been talking about it for the last couple weeks, and I've been talking about it because they allow you to buy a pack from any of the boxes in the store. Any of those boxes in the store, if you wanted to buy not the box, but a pack, and it was sealed, he would crack that box open for you right there and let you buy just a pack. It was awesome, and there was a price for a pack on every single box in that store. That is a true local card shop, not retail flipper shops. Those aren't card shops. True local card shops are the shops with the allocations, but the ones with the allocations that then allow you to rip whatever box open that you want and just buy a pack. That's what a true and amazing and great customer service filled local card shop actually is. Seattle Soto, thank you so much for the member message, man. It's been a while, but I'm back today. Today might be the day. I hope it is, man. I hope you're back for the right day. We haven't seen anything as of yet. We got about 12 minutes to go in the hot zone here on Schulte's Card Pulls, you guys. Unfortunately, with each minute that passes, it's looking less and less likely that we're seeing cards. Brian says, is there any cards being loaded? If not, I'm out. You know what, Brian? I haven't seen anything. So if you wanted to tap out early, man, by all means. I know that you got to go. You got to go on and grab the rest of your stuff for your morning and get to work. So I understand, Brian, but I apologize. We haven't seen any restocks as of yet. Jackson Blake says LCSs shouldn't have any retail products. I agree, man. I absolutely agree. LCSs shouldn't have, at least current year. See, if you're talking about like, all right, it's 2021. So now you're not going to find 2020 optic football cellos or optic football blasters anywhere unless you go buy them for resale online. So if you're talking about past year retail, yeah, put that in LCSs as much as you want. I'm fine with that. But current year retail should not be allowed to be sold, in my opinion, by LCSs, so that availability for people that are trying to get their hands on it in the hobby is there. Harold saying most LCSs will be out of business by the end of 22. I hope not, man. The good LCSs, I really hope they stay in business, but obviously with the Fanatics buying of Topps and taking over the sports card game, they are changing the way that the card distribution system works. So we'll see exactly how that works going forward. Maybe we'll get a plan a little bit sooner now that Topps bought in and we're seeing Fanatics bought Topps, and we're seeing cards that are going to be printed essentially by Fanatics starting this year as opposed to waiting until 2025. Yami says, that's a real LCS, Schultz. Christopher Bond says, capitalism. My house is a premium price and it's way overpriced and overvalued. Capitalism, there's nothing wrong with what's happening. This is a feature, not a flaw. Welcome to America. Hey, Christopher, I'm all about capitalism, but unregulated capitalism is a bit of a problem. So there need to be restrictions in place from preventing bad actors from creating a crappy secondary market on products that there doesn't need to be one. That, you know what? I understand that stuff's going to be resold, that people have been buying and reselling stuff for eons and eons and eons. That's going to happen. But as far as the sustainability of the card hobby, of the sports trading card hobby goes, limiting the just hoarding and price gouging that I've been talking about for months that's been happening in the sports card hobby is the only way. If you're continuing to have these retail boxes like they are, be released like they are, it is the only way to keep the access to the hobby for the everyday Joe available. I promise you. You can't keep up with... I understand it's capitalism, but you can't keep up with the... Well, you know what? That's just the way that it goes. I understand buying and reselling happens, and I made the point several times that I'm okay if you want to go buy 2 boxes, rip one, and then resell one. That's great. Do it. But if you're going and buying up all 10 boxes off the shelf and then selling all 10 boxes just for a profit, you're a jerk. You're a dink. Don't do that. That ruins the hobby. Period. Cameron asking what I think of the grading company HGA. I mean, I was personally pretty high on HGA until I heard about the slab that came apart. I think it was and then not only that, but then didn't HGA also misauthenticate a Patrick Mahomes auto? It actually wasn't a Pat Mahomes auto, but I think that's what it was. I think it was a Pat Mahomes auto that they authenticated as real, and it just wasn't. So there are a couple reasons why I'm not the hugest fan of HGA anymore. I was really excited to send some cards into them. I liked their custom slabs, and I liked, the colors that you could put at the top. Some people don't really like that. I thought it was cool, but with the back and forth, seeing that with some people into HGA getting their stuff back just coming absolutely bunk, it was like, no thanks. All right, I don't think I'm gonna waste my money. Onyx Paving 1 says, Schulte, you're double talking now. Talking what? Saying that local card shops shouldn't be selling current year retail, or saying that it's okay for somebody to buy and sell like a couple of boxes just to pay for their rip. Why is that double talking? I think that's totally different. If you're in the hobby and you want to get your hands on a box, but then you want to pay for the rip, that's fine, and that's going to happen. And of course, there are going to be a little bit, of resale value on those boxes when that happens. But it's when the hoarding happens, when the prices of these boxes go up, when nobody can find them, when you're creating that artificial scarcity. That's what I have a problem with. And that is much different than buying buying two boxes to rip one and to resell the other. That is an entirely different concept. So no, I'm not double talking. There are two different things, and there are two different motivations. And one will keep the hobby going, the other will not, period. So Onyx, if you can't understand that, they're two separate concepts. Like, sorry, brother. It's just, they're two different ways to buy sports cards. And the second way is essentially people buying consoles to resell. And that is not going to keep people in the hobby. Dunk Card says, if you can sell 2 and rip 1, why not sell 20 and rip 10? Because then nobody else gets them. And I'm talking about like handfuls of cards. But see, that's what you're talking about. Like, dude, if you're ripping 20 and 10 and there's only, I don't know, let's say there's like 100,000 boxes of each product, that's going to make that product a lot scarcer, a lot quicker. Fernando says, that's what I do. I buy resale to rip for free, or retail to rip for free. Been doing that for 2 years. Hadrian says, how about clear the shelves and sell half? Man, I can't, clearing the shelves, just not a huge fan of it. Not a huge fan of when people clear the shelves of the retail sports cards. I know that's an unpopular take. I get it, but that's just my that's just my opinion on it. Panda Box says, you realize resellers are driving up prices on your singles as well, right? Absolutely. That's why the single prices have dropped so much. The boxes that we're reselling for 3, 4, 5, 6 times, what their retail price was, we're driving the prices of singles way, way, way up. So people, if you were able to get your hands on cards, it was actually a lot easier for you to resell those cards and get the value of the box back because people were paying so much. Gem Mint says, didn't I clear that Walgreens that one time? No, you're thinking of Sky B, bro. You're thinking of Sky B. No, I did not clear a Walgreens one time. If you're talking about the Select Basketball and the Prestige Megas, fairly sure I left one of each. The limit was 2 of each product, so I bought 2 of each. And I buy those, you guys. One of those Prestige Megas was given away in my last member giveaway. So when I'm buying these products, a lot of the times they're ending up in your hands. But when you're talking about like people clearing out the shelves, I think you're thinking of Sky B that bought all the Prism Basketball Megas at like 2 Walgreens. There were like 17 total, and he bought them all. And that is a BS move. Seattle Soto says, everybody left reselling Pokemon and have come to sports cards. Yeah, probably true. Yeah, valid point. All right, guys, 4:46 here on the West Coast. Unfortunately, we have only 4 minutes or so left in the hot zone here on Schulte's Card Pulls. Not seeing any loading of sports cards on Target.com or consoles or anything this morning, guys. Has been a pretty rough go. Brett says the giveaways help your channel. Exactly, Brett. I mean, I'm trying to build a brand, but also my entire philosophy of sports cards is that everybody should be able to get their hands on sports cards. And what is a better way to put my money where my mouth is than to just give you all the boxes of sports cards? And I mean, guys, you saw my 10,000 subscriber giveaway on Sunday. If you didn't, I gave away hundreds of dollars of boxes. A Chronicles basketball hobby box was the top prize. Gave away an update series. I gave away so much stuff, and I'm not trying to talk myself up. I'm just trying to say, like, you guys, I do put my money where my mouth is, and I really do try to get y'all products and get y'all stuff for free. So, Adrian says, let's see your sealed collection. I don't have a sealed collection right now, Adrian. I've maybe got one Optic Football Mega from 2020 that I've been sitting on since January of 2021. And I'm trying to think. Maybe like a Prism Blaster and a Prism Football Cello, and then a couple other baseball boxes. But my sealed collection is so tiny, I just don't have much right now because a lot of the stuff that I have, I just end up giving away. So, Christopher Coring says Optics Green Pulsar complete set right now on Fanatics for $149 right now. Premium stock. There you go, Christopher. Thanks for letting us know about that. Yeah, guys, if you do want that Optics set, the one that it's just like this one here on Target.com, except for it has green Pulsar rated rookies instead of purple. That is available on Fanatics right now for about $150. All right, guys, a couple minutes left here in the hot zone, and unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see a sports card restock. Yeah, about a minute left. Yeah, no restock, unfortunately, today. I think we can officially say on Target.com. We could see a late morning console restock, you guys. Somebody said they saw consoles loaded. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to confirm that, and I've not seen cards or consoles loaded on Target.com. Tim says, I bought one of those Fanatic Optic full sets, and it has been up for a couple of days. So it sounds like those Fanatics Optic sets, guys, have been available for a bit. But if you did want those and you missed out before and you want that chance to pull a LaMelo, maybe go grab one. However, maybe check the resale prices on a LaMelo Ball Green Pulsar Prism. Somebody offered me one for like $175 through eBay. Was thinking of taking it because that's only $25 more than the box would cost to rip, and I think that's a good deal. Oh, Mark Mabry, I appreciate you, man. Says 5 hours worth of ripping and gifting. I was there, was real. I mean, you guys can go watch it. Go there. There's a whole video, 10K giveaway. It's a 5-hour stream. I mean, does somebody say that I made that up? Like that I'm just BSing? Are you serious? Go. I got the guy. I'm gonna ship those cards out. I got a few more bubble mailers coming, I think today, so I can get these packaged up. But those are the cards from the giveaway right there, you guys, right behind me. And those are going to be getting sent out later this week as soon as I get the rest of those bubble mailers. So, Lloyd says, I'm not going to lie. If you're going to buy the Topps baseball set, it's better to get it at Walmart. At least you'll have a chance at the Sparkle foil. So there you go, guys. I know that those Topps baseball sets come in different variations. There's like the chance for the Sparkle parallels. There's the chance for an auto relic. There's just the full sets with like the rookie variations that don't really contain anything. So make sure if you are looking at those Topps full sets, all those different colored boxes mean that it contains like a different special hit or a different chance at something. So just make sure you're aware of exactly what you're purchasing. All right, guys, 4:51. Unfortunately, the hot zone is officially over. I know people probably going to start tuning out in earnest now, and I appreciate that. But please, on your way out, if you could for me, smash that like button, guys. Helps me feed two kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. Helps me a ton. Helps YouTube know that y'all are enjoying what you're watching, and send this out to a ton more people. And hopefully I'll get tons and tons of subscribers. Yee! I appreciate it, you guys. One of One Sports Cards says you shouldn't be sending boxes of cards in bubble mailers. Dude, One of One, stop. Just stop. All right, I'm not gonna be told exactly how I'm supposed to be shipping sports cards. I've been shipping sports cards for months, and I've got many happy customers. So I put them in team bags. I put stop. I put them in between top loaders. Man, I don't know. Flux is horrible, somebody says. Is the Optic complete set worth it for $115? Guys, beware. Somebody was telling me, Stockx, they have better prices in some instances, but somebody was telling me how they were getting repacks when they were bought on StockX. So whether it be like individual boxes or retail boxes, or like it's a risk apparently that even though StockX, God, we've been talking about all these companies this morning. I apologize, Freudian slip. When you talk about StockX authenticating stuff, apparently the authentication process isn't that great. And it's something that I really didn't think happened. But I guess it does. And somebody showed me some proof of getting some repacks in a box from StockX. And it's like, okay, that's absolutely insane. So make sure you are aware that that happens and be careful. I love StockX prices sometimes, but be careful. Apparently that is a thing. Tim saying, see, I heard that too about StockX and repacks. And of course, they're not going to address that. I mean, they put their authenticated sticker on every single thing they sent out, so I'm not sure they'd ever admit that. Yeah, Onyx, yeah, with the angry faces. StockX puts a damn sticker on the actual wrapping. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. PNWEN stuff says, man, your grind is unreal. Get to start 2022 strong. I appreciate it, brother. Trying, man. Trying to turn this into a full-time gig, you guys. Trying to become a prominent voice in the hobby. I mean, I'll be honest about that every single day that I'm here with y'all, trying to help you score sports cards. This is fun for me. I'm here because of you. But, there is a little bit of self-motivation here. I've been a broadcaster for 10 plus years, and I do believe that I can be the source of entertainment and sports knowledge and sports card knowledge. So that's what I'm trying to do, guys. So help me out along the way. Smash that like button. I appreciate it. Ryan Welsh has been watching this for about 3 weeks now. Haven't gotten anything premium, ... Well, Ryan, I do apologize, man, but there really hasn't been much released that is premium in the last 3 weeks. I mean, you go and look at this. Actually, we got it boiled down right now to the last 3 weeks on the sports card drop calendar, brother. The last drop that we had was December 28th, and there was only Chronicles, Illusions, Flux, and then a handful of these other products the last 2 weeks because of Christmas, and then the week before that, we really didn't see anything dropped. The last time that we saw stuff dropped before that was December 9th. And since Optic, unfortunately, Ryan, we have not seen anything as far as premium releases. We're in between, Optic got released, and then we had that long wait for Mosaic Basketball. Now we're here at Mosaic Basketball, but Ryan, gear up, because we've got Mosaic Football coming out. We got Prism Football coming out. There's so much stuff coming out here in the month of January that we are going to have tons of premium releases coming up on Target.com soon. I promise you. It's going to happen, Ryan. I apologize. I know you haven't seen the premium stuff, but it's because we're in a lull. I wish I could change that. I know that, Target, I think they've figured out that when they put the items up in large quantities, it gives the manual user, fighting against the bots, a better chance to score. So they've kind of shifted. Instead of like saving, certain items in clusters of like 10 to 20,000 and then restocking every week, they've kind of gone to every other week and restocking, 30 to 50,000 of one item at once, not really having much left of it, maybe 10 or 15,000 at all in the future restocks coming up after that. But that's kind of what we've seen with Optic Basketball. Like, it was there with a bunch at the beginning and then slowly trickling in since then. And unfortunately, because that's the only premium release there was, we're just waiting to see Mosaic coming out next. And then waiting to see Mosaic Football, and then waiting to see Prism Football as well. AMPX is no premium drops, man. Mosaic most likely next week, and then 2 weeks from now, we'll have Prism. Heck yeah, guys. We're going to see a ton of premium stuff coming up soon. I promise you that. News Now Marijuana says StockX now takes cello packs. They didn't used to do that. Yeah, that's true. I've noticed that they used to just take sealed boxes. Now they will take loose cellos. I mean, I think they should take loose cellos because of the way that I think mostly Target and maybe one other retailer have just opened up all the boxes. You're not really finding a sealed box of cellos very much anymore. So if StockX does want to get in on the reselling of those, they're going to have to sell just the packs. So, I mean, it makes sense. Jason Preeps says Stockx has fake sneakers sometime. I would be careful on cards. They are new to the card game. Jason, thank you so much for the warning on that, man. I appreciate it. Joe says, yeah, it pisses me off when I buy a box from eBay and it arrives in a bubble mailer. Well, guys, I'm not sending boxes in a bubble mailer. I'm sending... Somebody's saying you don't have to send cards in a bubble mailer. They are protected and in a teal green bubble mailer that matches the branding of the channel very well. So they have always been protected. Nobody's complained about ding corners or anything like that on their hits when they get them in the mail. So don't y'all worry. If I'm sending you cards, they are going to show up protected. And most of the time, I mean, I see most of these guys that I buy into breaks with sending cards out in a bubble mailer as well. So I've just kind of tried to take the lessons, the best of what I've seen from people sending out cards and do them myself. Paul, I appreciate it. Says, Schultzy's a boss. Respect the man. I appreciate it. Seriously, man. I appreciate you a lot. Yummy Oslo says, Pac-Man pulled an Ant-Man Genesis at a Mosaic hanger. Whoo! Congratulations to Pac-Man. Crazy luck that he has, but that is awesome. The Four Horsemen. If you get a good card, pro. If you don't, it's a con. Yeah, that's usually how people work. They get really upset when they don't get a hit, and then the box, the box just ends up not really having anything, so they think all boxes are crap. Dal76 says, Schultz, you have to be honest on here and explain Target's expired contracts. Dal, you're the only, you never sent me any of the info that you said that you had on it. I have not found an iota of information about that, Dal. You're just coming in here and repeating that. Could you please do me a favor and send me the info that you have on that? Because you're just saying this. I have not seen a news source anywhere about that, Dal. Please, man. Like, please, do me a favor. Don't just come in here and say that stuff. Put your money where your mouth is. Send me your source so I can verify, because I did some searching on that yesterday. I was unable to verify it. So, I don't know what to say, man. I was paying $25 for 89 hoops back in the day, says Thomas Fleck. That's crazy, man. Oh, those prices. Oh, those prices. How they have changed. Ryan, you rock, man. So, Schultz, I appreciate what you do. We'll get something good soon. I hope so, man. I know that the premium releases are coming our way, guys. Dal says, I don't have any written info. Well, then send me what somebody's told you, man, because all you're saying is coming in here and saying that, well, the contracts are over. If there's no written info anywhere, or if you're not willing to send me a message saying, well, here's who told me, here's what I heard. I mean, if it's just like, was this a manager that told you this? Was this an Excel representative that told you this? Was it a buddy that works for one of those? Like, you gotta extrapolate a little bit on that, man. You can't just come in and say, you're not being honest. I don't have the info, Dal. I'm not just gonna say everything that people are saying in the chat. What do you want me to come on and say? Hey, I have a sixth toe. Nobody really confirmed it, but I got a sixth toe. Come on, dude. I'm a newsman. I got to make sure that I'm giving out accurate information, brother. Walmart stocked last night, guys, says Dustin Sams. Did Walmart stock last night? Really? They usually do like a Wednesday restock, so that's pretty crazy. If Walmart stocked last night, sounds like, unfortunately, we might have missed our chance for the week, but who knows? The Amazing Card Ninja says Target still has 2 or 3 years with Excel. Stop. Oh, that's funny. Drew Shoeman with a $2 super chat. Dude, thank you so much, Drew Shoeman. You rock. I appreciate you. Dude, too generous. Mosaic Blasters at 9 p.m. Eastern, says King LCE. Ooh. Wow, what a random, evening into late night drop for Walmart last night. Pretty weird. Justin Job asking if there's anything dropping. Hey, Justin, I've not seen any consoles. I've not seen any sports cards, unfortunately, as of yet. And the hot zone is over, so I don't think we are going to be seeing any of that. I apologize, but that means I'll be back tomorrow, man. William E. Six-toe Schultz, LOL. Exactly. Yeah, nobody confirmed it, you guys, but I got a six toe. I'm just going to say it. All right? Eric says Mosaic blasters, hangers, and cellos were Walmart last night, 11:15. All right, Eric, thank you so much. The second or third person to say that we have a late night restock that happened on Walmart.com last night, though. Very weird. I wonder if that's their weekly restock or if they are going to be doing something. Usually, guys, like I said earlier in the live stream, they do like Wednesdays or Thursdays at noon Eastern. Or excuse me, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. I know I screwed that up. Okay, so Dow76 says a reputed vendor in my area said it to me and said it's been obvious with what we've seen the last month or two. Okay, Dow, so, okay, what he is saying is that a vendor has been speculating that the contract is over. It doesn't sound like the contract is officially over. Now, Dow, I understand what you're saying. As far as the in-store sales of sports cards being in jeopardy, we have been seeing fights, situations created where people aren't safe, all kinds of things happening. I mean, everybody knows about that. I don't really have to go too deep into that. It's the reason that we're all here waiting for these cards to be sold early in the mornings on Target.com. However, if Excel all of a sudden dropped their main partner that they're selling this stuff through online, I mean, that would be a much bigger deal. And I think it's also separate than what they're doing in store. And just because an Excel vendor says, hey, you know what, they're probably not going to sell cards anymore, who knows if he just meant in store or if he's talking about the whole shebang. Because I tell you what, I know that the logistics of shipping these cards out are tough sometimes, but correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but when when Target sells these sports cards, when they do drop, Excel is sending them out directly to us from a warehouse. Am I wrong in stating that? I thought that was the case. So at this point, I don't know how easy it would be for Excel to go set it up with another online retailer, but I know that they've given some stuff to Best Buy. They've had some other retailers starting to sell products bit by bit on other websites as well to maybe test stuff out. And that would be the one indicator for me that would tell me that, okay, maybe they're going to stop eventually on Target.com. But like other people have said, they have time left on their contract. So I just don't think the online sales are going to be discontinued. As far as what the in-store sales are talking about and what people are trying, to do to each other in stores and the fights being created and the managers that are having to basically stop what they're doing and set aside an hour just to handle a sports card restock. I can understand why Excel wouldn't want to deal with that anymore. And I wouldn't be surprised. Dallas 76 says Excel is looking for other avenues. I wouldn't be surprised if they are. But until we hear anything firm and until they make an announcement, I'm not going to say that Target and Excel don't have a deal anymore. Because at this point, they still do. And there you go. That's about all I know, guys, is there are still a bunch of cards up on Target.com, and there are a bunch of cards that they still have coming out in the next month or so that they've got to get out of their warehouse. Ragnar says, hey, Six-Toe Bro, when will Teammate expire and get out of my search results? I wish I could tell you, man. I don't know why these come up as, I guess it's because it's a collector's item, but they're not sports cards. They're not sports trading cards, these Teammates. Super weird. Dustin says, you're correct, Schultz. I mean, I try. I know I'm not always correct, but I do try and bring logic and facts to the conversation. Yeah, Dal76 says the profit margin for Target and the drama surrounding cards isn't worth it for Target in store. No, exactly. I agree with you. Dal, 120% agreed, man. That's something that you and I see eye to eye on. And I've spoken with 2 managers near me at Targets. They were done with it when it was happening. They were just so sick of having, like I said, to set aside that time and worry about all the drama surrounding the cards. And like you said, the profit margin is too tiny for them to be worrying about that. Lewis asking if I got the gold press proof of Mac Jones graded yet. No, Lewis, I have not. I have not sent anything into PSA yet because, shoot dang, man, I don't want to pay, the $200 express prices. Maybe if I can make some quick cash, sure. It sounds like a lot of those Mac Jones are coming back as PSA 10s. So, maybe it would be worth it for me to send in. I got 2 boxes, so I have 2 Mac Jones gold press proofs from those Donruss football sets. Is it worth the $400 to spend to send those in? Maybe. I guess if they do grade out to 10s and it's almost guaranteed, yes, but I unfortunately have not pulled the trigger on that as of yet. All right, Drew Schumann says, peace, Schultz, see you tomorrow. Thanks so much, you guys. Yeah, we've got about, I'm going to be on for about 3 more minutes or so and then get on out of here. Everybody, of course, got to get about their days. I know that lots of stuff going on past 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Y'all are busy. Y'all have jobs. Y'all got school. But I do appreciate you hanging out. Just do me a favor. Smash that like button on your way out. Helps me feed a couple kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. Tim asking what the retail prices on Mosaic NBA are. Well, for Walmart, the cellos are running about $16-17. Then the hangers are $22.98, and then the blasters are about $35. On Target.com, I believe that those are going to be, the cellos are going to be about $15, the hangers are going to be about $15, and then the blaster boxes are probably going to be $29.99. Yeah, Matt L says Target wants no part of it in store. They make more money online. Of course they do, and I think also one of those reasons they make more money online is something that I mentioned earlier. Excel sends the cards directly out from their factory, selling them on Target.com. So Target kind of gets a discount on like the shipping and the handling, not having to deal with that themselves, with Excel just handling it, and then essentially just taking the profits of what they sell on their site online. Prestige Breaks asking why we need a red card. Unfortunately, because Target.com has made it so any of the premium products that you want to buy, you can only buy it with their in-store credit or debit card. So basically, you have to have Target currency. It doesn't have to be a credit card. The debit card is super easy to get, and it's super easy to basically instantly get approved for and have, so you can buy cards almost instantaneously. But you do get 5% off of it. Basically, the red card is Target's in-store or store payment method, and it's their corporate store credit card, essentially. But like I said, they have a debit version as well that's free. You don't have any fees or anything like that. You don't have to run a credit check, and it just comes, basically you can set it up with a checking account, and you still get 5% off, and you get access then to all those premium releases. So if you guys want all that premium stuff coming up here soon, I would highly, highly recommend that y'all get a red card. Oh gosh, I can't even remember exactly what we're talking about. It's red cards. All right, you guys. Well, I appreciate you very, very much. It is 5:10, and that means it's 8:10 on the East Coast. We're going to let y'all go. Get about your days. I'll be back bright and early tomorrow. I apologize. We did not see a console restock this morning. We didn't see sports card restock this morning. But hopefully we'll see something tomorrow. If not, I'll be back bright and early next week. But guys, one more day to grind through this week. I'll be back bright and early tomorrow at 3:45 Pacific time. Thanks so much to all y'all for hanging out. Appreciate every single one of you. But be safe out there, guys. The world's getting crazy right now. But I will see you all tomorrow. I'll have an upset of the week. I'll have a lock of the week in the NFL. Tons of great stuff to talk about. And hopefully, wow, we see sports cards being restocked on Target.com. All right, everybody. I'm going to get on out of here. Make sure that you take care of yourselves right now. Like I said, it's getting crazy out there. Hope you all can have a great hump day. See y'all bright and early tomorrow morning. Schultz's card pulls out. Be good to yourselves and each other.